but the Chelsea one, there's couple candidates, man. Raya's up there, Gabby's up there, Saliba's up there, Hincapie's up there, to a degree, Timber's there. I'll give it Raya, Chelsea, you know. I'll give it Raya. I'll give it for Chelsea, I'll give it Raya. Brighton, you have to divide. You know what? To be fair, Chelsea and Brighton, you probably have to divide it all amongst the back line, innit, really? Because it
Oh,
does feel dirty,
100%.
Gabriel.
Yeah, it could go
I'll
to
give it
any.
Gabriel for Brighton, you know.
Yeah, and shout out Timber as well because
Beat
his
him
last
up.
2 games have been a lot better than before. He was in really kind of poor form, and the last couple of games he's kind of returned back to what we know him to be. Arteta successfully played somebody back into form. Wow, that's great, Arteta. Thank you. But yeah, with those players, I feel like we can kind of do anything as long as they're fit and available, you know, because they're very much so. If we win anything, a lot of it will be
Because
because
of
of those.
defenders, they need to be the first in line to lift up that bit of silverware. I got a question for you.
Mhm,
Timber's obviously got what in his last 3 games, 2 assists and a goal. Yeah, a bit of a
mhm.
double sword question. Like, is he now proving he's better than? Is he now proving he's better than Benjamin White in the final third? And also, if everybody's fit, as much as you can include, but this include recency bias, yeah, because obviously it's in Hincapie's favor. Are you going Hincapie or Calafiori? They're both fit, firing
Yeah,
at their best, whatever.
I think there's a difference between like being effective in the final third and making the final third click. And I feel like what when Timber is not getting the GA, people feel like it's not clicking as well as it would with White. So it's kind of a hard question. I think Timber is somewhat underrated in the final third because he's not smooth, but he is effective with his set piece goals and the
He's
assists that he
dumbed it
does
down
get.
now.
Yeah, but Ben White clicks more with the team, you know. So because I never really considered Ben White like he's not a goal threat. I think people were almost overplaying his abilities in the final third. He's not a
There's a
goal
good
threat,
crossover ball.
but the angles and the passes that he picks up and his, you know, relationship with Odegaard and Saka was so consistent for so long that without it, it feels weird, even though Timber can be effective, right? So,
Mm.
yeah, I think right now, um, if Ben White's not fit, it's not really a conversation. So,
I'm
you
nervous
know,
about that, just because even like with the
why?
Mansfield game, yeah, it's like
Yeah.
obviously I think there's a couple things that can derail our season beyond the obvious. Like obviously, I think we're at the stage, kind of what you've been saying. It just get results. That it's probably more mentally now, and it's probably more mentally. It sounds mad because we've obviously effed up away from home in it, especially in recent weeks. I just feel away from home. I feel a lot more comfortable. You know, the crowd don't like you. The fans,
Mhm.
even if the Arsenal fans are nervous, they're going to be making mad noise because they're trying to give you lot something. At the Emirates, you can kind of cut tension with a knife. So I would say that's one. And then for me, it is injuries because I'm not naive. I hope I'm wrong, but we're in 4 competitions. And as you saw with the midweek games, whether you're in 1, 4, or no competition, everyone looks a bit knackered. I just wonder, like, Mansfield coming up, it's all fun and games, me screaming rotation, and we might just about get away with it, especially in defense. But
Yeah.
some men are going to have to play that you would love to have the whole complete day off. And then, like me and you are very passionate about Zubamendi. Obviously, I think Zubamendi's this. I think the only thing Zubamendi did well against Chelsea was how he marked Enzo. I think he was poor on the ball. I call him
Yeah.
Zubamendi, he was Zubamidi. So he needs to hold that and hug that in it. And Brighton weren't anything to scream and shout about unless you're a defender. But I do think he does look tired, and I think that is a big part of it. Is if you're poor in it. If you're making the wrong decision, you're making the wrong decisions. Zubi looks spent. Rice closed up the game in the second half, but I feel even him is we kind of waited to the last kind of moments in the second half, and he's going up. So I guess what I'm waffling about is midfield. We can't afford no injuries. Guys look
Yeah.
tired. I don't know for Norgard. Kai, we need to wrap him in cotton wool because he is a striking option. We don't want to see it. We've seen him playing the 8, seen him playing the 10. So that's where my
Well,
nerves come from, Jess. And look at the games.
I
That's the
wouldn't.
only one there's rest in it.
Yeah, I just don't. I think, you know, at this stage where we're at right now is we can want rotation, and I've been screaming about it for a while, but
West
we're
Myth.
just at the stage where I think the players that Arteta really trusts for the Premier League are going to have to just kind of get through
Slug it
it.
out.
Um, I think the good thing about that potentially is that players like White and Calafiori might be able to get fully fit for other games, because I believe that they're having conversations not just about winning the league, but about doing many things this season.
In
And
all combat,
so,
try a
yeah,
thing.
exactly. And it might be the case that, the club is having conversations, or the coaches are having conversation with different players about what their role will be. And I would not be surprised if the Timbers and the Hincapiés and the Zubis and the Rices, they understand that they're going to be lent, like, very much so laid on, like, and
Prem and Champs
responsible
is
for
you
the
lot's
Premier
thing.
League. And you guys are going to come in and do the Champions League, because that's the only way. And we have to be careful with certain players too, like you said, Kai, because we've lost him so quickly
Like
after
you said,
returning
Timber.
so many times. Exactly. So I think that they know who can be ran into the ground for the next 8 games and who cannot, and they've chosen those players, and we'll continue to probably watch those same players in the Premier League, even if it's uncomfortable. That they've chosen Rice, Zubi, Hincapié, Timber, Gabriel, Saliba. They're gonna be in that game.
We've skipped over that as well. Like, are you concerned about Saliba? Because it does feel like, and granted, I can't write down all the incidences, but it does feel like this isn't the first time this season where, not obviously he's been injured, but we're going into a game. Oh shit, Saliba's not there. What's kind of going on? I know we got depth, but Saliba's. What do you make of Saliba's knock? Obviously, I've even forgot about that. Like Saliba, Odegaard, obviously White, and I'm probably missing someone else out as well, man.
I think with Saliba, it's something kind of like reoccurring, because it's basically been since, like, let's call it the Liverpool game away from home, second game of the season, where that was the first time that we saw him come out. And then he's kind of had like a little one here, a little one there. So, and I think as soon as he says he's uncomfortable in any way, they just take him out, because they don't want to risk it. 100%. So we're in a good position where we can kind of lean on others to step in. That being said, he's missing quite a few big games, and I hope that doesn't happen later down the line, because if we go to the Etihad, we need Saliba. I'm sorry, we're going to need our best back line for that. And if we get far down into the Champions League, we're going to need Saliba. So let's see how things go. But I think it's the right thing to do, especially like you're not to shade Brighton, but you would feel confident still winning that game without Saliba.
This is the thing, man. Like, it feels like such a long time ago, but Rice right back, Norgard centre half. I don't really want to get into those scenarios. If we do, it is what it is, and this is why you've got depth and whatnot. But we're really just gonna have to muck in. So, like, what's your 11 for Mansfield? Obviously, Kepa in goal, I assume. Where else you going?
Like Kepa. Yeah, Kepa. If White is fit, White.
All right, let's make it interesting. White's not there. Like, White's not there because we don't know what's going on with him.
If White's not there, then I would play. If White's not there, then I would play Marley Salmon at right back. I'd play Sarah. I'd play Calafiori. I'd play MLS, Norgard, whoever else you have available, I guess. I guess it's Dauman.
Dauman's gonna come in. Noni's gonna have to come in.
Yeah,
Trossard, you can come in. Jesus, you can come in.
Yeah, Anus.
Midfield. See what I mean? Midfield is.
What's his name? Anus.
Harriman Anus, yeah, on the bench immediately. You're rolling.
Get him in there. I would really. I mean, I know you could get done. I know you can, but at the same time, it's like this is our only real chance to let people sit down for a second. So I would take it very seriously. Like Razzle saying Eze has to play left 8. You mean against Mansfield? No.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I think sit him down. Why?
He needs to be sat down, but it's kind of what you're saying, Jess. It's like a needs must thing. Because obviously, I was looking at this game of, all right, Cala, you're getting your starts because you need minutes. Havertz, you're getting your starts. Gabriel Jesus, you'll be gone at the end of the season. This is your thing. Max Dauman getting the lineup somehow. Salman getting the lineup somehow. Mascara, you're getting, Mascara, Norgard, Kepa, this is you lot's thing. But then, if White's not there, if Odegaard's not there, imagine.
Yeah, but for all intents and purposes, let's say, like,
I'm nervous, man.
Eze is our only fit number 10 right now, is he not? No Marino and no Odegaard. So he does kind of have to be saved right now. You can't count on Kai. You can't, So of course
They ain't got 90 minutes in them. The
yeah, I
Callas
would
and
sit him too.
Havertz.
I mean, the type of lineup that I'm putting out is going to be reflective of it being our last opportunity. Jesus, go play 10. I don't, it's, you have to just.
You got 90 minutes, Jesus. Do your thing, man.
Yeah, just do it. And then you'll have people on the bench in case it gets ugly. But this is it, So, yeah, I wouldn't even risk Eze because if for some reason, like Odegaard's knee injury is worse than feared, which he's not even on the bench at this stage. So, and you don't have Marino. If something were to happen to Eze, then what? No.
And
you
Zubi needs
all three midfielders.
How the game comes out. Zubi off, right? Not that I would rather risk you, but you're a bit more durable. Zubi, you should not be traveling, innit? Like you can travel as much as you want. You should not be on that pitch because I can't imagine you're not playing, like you're not starting almost all these games. Obviously, you got the champs, and depending on what we do, but I just don't think we can fuck about with we can't fuck about anymore. Like we really can't. We can't avoid no injuries. We 100%. There's no low key. We miss Marino.
No, we miss Marino badly, and I would say this is why I'm hoping that at least one of Odegaard or White is fit, because like let's say White is fit, play White, play Marley Salmon, play Mascara,
maybe even Lewis Kelly can go in midfield,
play Calafiori, and then play MLS in midfield. That pretty much solves 90% of our issues. You play Dowman in the 10, you play MLS, you play Norgard, you play Madueke, you throw anyone up front. I don't care. You just have to, because there's just not, this is it. So, yeah, we do miss Marino bad. Like, he just scores so many important goals. And I know that he's not physically what people would want in terms of like, he's not super agile, fast, quick, any of those things, but he adds something that we miss. But at the same time, coming back will help too. So
we just need to wrap everybody in cotton wool, man. Marco, one love for the super chat. Big up Jess and DG. Before I carry on, if you got any questions, get them in, folks, people. Big up Jess and DG. Not trying to jinx it, but I do sense that today feels different. People are nicer to us. The air smells fresher. Is it just me? And Arsenal victory will do that to you, my boy. But I will only think like that when we obviously do what needs to be done. It will probably only sink in that we've won the league when we actually, not even when we've done it, like next season, when I've actually seen us. I just don't know, man. It just won't be the case, man.
Yeah, there's still a long way to go. These next 8 games are feel like death. So,
What are you saying for this? Big up BG. Question DG/Jess. Are you concerned about the upcoming international break? We always lose a player or two for some reason. We need the whole squad for the running. Me, I'm shook, bro. I am shook. I can say that because these boys, we don't do the sinister thing. Either Arsenal don't lock these men off and say you're not going, or the players don't play the game. Now, I understand it, national pride, World Cup, all of that. But I do think we have to be a bit cute and clever with this, which I don't think we're going to do, or they're going to do.
Yeah, I mean, there's just no way it's the last international World Cup, so everybody's going to... And our players, even though they're pretty established, they still... Am I back? Sorry.
Was that me or just people?
I think that was me. Am I back?
Yeah, I can hear you. I got nervous there for a sec.
Yeah, I think it was me. But yeah, I think that our players still think that they're on the bubble to make their national team. They're not, but they'll go. And we just have to hope that they don't do anything silly. They don't get injured, in particular, Rice and Saka. You're on the plane. Don't worry about it. You're on the plane. Don't do anything stupid. Jog.
I even think Noni's there. I don't think Eze. I think Eze is how.
Yeah, Eze will have to. Eze has the hardest position to try to lock into.
You'd go as the wild card.
Yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, I'm a little nervous, but at the same time, it's like at this stage, even if we lose players, you guys must. This is the best opportunity you got, But what are the dates of that? That international break, by the way, do you know?
No, but we can find out. When is... You're not mocking the times now, are you? When is the next international break in football? AI, help me.
Also, while he's looking at this, I just want you guys to know that they are actively in the process of sacking Edu from Nottingham Forest.
Oh God, I shouldn't laugh, but
Yeah.
Eddie, something's going on, man. Like you keep stinking up the gaff. Maybe it's not you, but yeah.
When
Can you
they
get off
backed him,
Marilo, Elliot Anderson, and them man before you go? But
when they backed him over Nuno Espirito Santos, I was like, yeah, you guys are done. Like, you guys are done. All he wanted was Adama Traore. That's all he wanted. That's all he asked for. They couldn't even give him that.
they didn't
They
bang
couldn't give
Fazini
him
over there.
they couldn't give it, Edu is he'll probably never work in England again. Go on. Is that not the day after the final?
Yeah. Wait. What? What are you talking about? The parade or this?
The final, the Carabao Cup final.
Oh
Is
my
it not
God.
March 22nd?
Oh my God, you might be right. Oh my days.
Oh, whoever doesn't win that is gonna have to live with it for a week.
Yeah, that's banter.
We
It
must.
literally is. Probably as soon as the last ball's been kicked, you've had your shower. I don't know if England will probably stay in England, innit? But I don't know if they've got to fly anywhere. It's time to go do your thing. You're right. Great spot, Jess. Great spot. And if anyone's just listening on audio, it will be the 23rd to the 31st of March. That will be the international break. That's a shout.
We must, guys. I don't care. Like, of course, I care about the Premier League, but beating them will help us so much in that final. It'll give us what we need. We must.
I'm starting to get nervous, man, because it's just like, do you know what? It's just our luck. You see, around this period, maybe not. I don't want to speak into existence, but this is when the fucking about starts. Like David Ornstein bomber. This one's got an injury. Season's done. Hopefully, there's some good news and Marino's back sooner rather than later. I don't know, man.
Marino's done for the season.
I think he's done, but and obviously Arteta's capping, but it sounds like he might be, he's race against time. I'm trying to make that World Cup.
Bro, I would be devastated for him if he did not make the World Cup, because he had just established himself in that midfield as like the starter. I would hate that for him, because last World Cup he was basically behind Fabian Ruiz. Now he's in front of him. So I would be devastated for him, because he's 29. So I don't know what the T is for him for the next one, but we'll see. I love Marino. Marino is my big, he's the most frustrating player, but I actually love him so much.
I got time for him in the squad. I've said this to you before. I feel there's just too many men in our squad that I feel that way about Marino. Like, I'm not disrespecting Marino, because I do think he's given a bad rep. I do think he understands the system. I prefer you up front, definitely when games are like yesterday and you can help us see it out. But I don't like you in midfield, but I think there's a need for you. I just feel different levels, but the same way I feel about him is how I feel about Kai Havertz, and all of these kind of players, like to different denominations. I feel when you got too many of them in your squad, it's and then as you know yourself, as you know yourself with them two, I am looking at the pathway long term. So I'm probably thinking seasons in. I am thinking about Skelly and Wanyeri and Dauman. And, we've been linked with several. We'll get onto the transfers in a bit, but we've been linked with several big ticket midfield options that are kind of on the younger side. So I do kind of think, how is this all going to mesh and gel together, sort of thing, if that makes sense.
I agree.
But that's tomorrow's problems, I guess.
Yeah. Marino I don't think he was ever a long-term fix, though. Like, I don't think he's long for this, for the team.
Arteta just likes him.
I think he's like a Band-Aid, kind of, not a Band-Aid, but a tool that we're going to use for like 2 seasons or so, like 3, so.
But that's what we need. And one thing I would say is, I don't mean this in a disrespectful way. I do think if you want to be a title winning side, you need to lean on them kind of man. Like, I'm not saying he can't play amazing, but if there's a 10-game stretch, he's probably going to drop you minimum a 6 out of 10 across that, where a couple other man, you might be hot and cold. Like, it's like even recency bias included. It's like even right now with Hincapié and Calafiori. Calafiori, you're still finding your way in terms of form. Right now, Hincapié is playing a lot more than a 6 out of 10, of course, but I know what you're going to kind of give me, and I do think you need to play on it. It's like what we said the last time we was live, in that we both love Odegaard, and obviously he can do his thing and whatnot, but where I feel with Odegaard at the moment is if there's been any highlights about your season, it's been your cameos off the bench. Newcastle comes to mind. I'm sure Spurs, and there's a couple of others. Can we use that and play on it just to get us over the line? Of course, next season, you can get your squad, your spot in the team back and do all of that kind of stuff. But yeah, man, I forgot to ask you as well. Like, what are you actually saying for Leverkusen? Like, now that it's almost on the horizon, like, what are you actually saying for it?
I mean, the Champions League gods are on our side. At the same time, we can't take anything for granted. And so Leverkusen, obviously, like, they're nowhere near what they were, but we've seen that we can fall to any team on any given day if we're not on our shit. So we're at home, or we're away first and at home second, which is great. End it in Germany so that we can chill a little bit at the Emirates. This should not be, again, we went to Inter is the best team in Serie A, and we wiped them at their spot when they needed it. So we're a really, really good team, and we know the state of Europe. But if we're not on it, we'll be in trouble. So, yeah, I'm not saying that we're just going to roll over them, but I am saying that, as long as we're professional, I think this is a really favorable tie for us.
Jess, you got a question as well. Jess, you've kept your feelings super balanced. Big up, Rob. But do you believe now that we can win trophies, or are there still red flags for you that keep you unsure?
No, I think I've always, well, at least for this season, I've always felt like we have everything that we need to win trophies. In fact, I've said in the last couple seasons that there's no reason why we shouldn't have made it to a final or won things, because this team is more than good enough. This season is a tough one because when the transfer window closed, I did not think that we were going to be better than Liverpool or City. But now that the season has played out a little bit, we're in a really good position. So, of course, we can win the league. When you have results like the Wolves one, I think you can't really begrudge anyone for having doubts. And I think that's where people need to slow down just a little bit, where the Wolves result was there a couple of weeks ago and it felt like it was all over. Now we're winning it. So we kind of need to remember that there's still a lot of games to go. But this team is more than good enough to win shit. This team is a 7-point gap. We can't be cool. Yeah, for sure. And I'm not gonna lie, like, the performances for me, it's not about the style, it's about the lack of control. And I do think as the pressure gets more and more, I do think we need to have a little bit more control. But yeah.
And it's us versus us, isn't it? Like, I've said it. I think you could be as negative or as positive as you want to be as an Arsenal fan, but I think every Arsenal fan can agree that meme where it's like three people and you're hitting yourself over your head. We could either be our best friends or our worst enemies. And I keep saying the same things. If we want to get to a destination we ain't done, we need to be something we haven't been before. That's the gaffer, and that's obviously the players. That's why people call me dismissive. I'm not really interested in what we're good at. Take the good and make it great, Take the evident areas of improvement and improve it. And one thing I would say, it's a lot easier said than done, but I kind of thought about it when we was talking about, Rice's decision making in against Chelsea. Zubi's the same, yeah. I remember Ian Wright's interview, and it's completely off topic, but he was talking about Ollie Watkins, of what separates the good strikers from the great ones is your ability to take your half chances. Now, we can all agree that goals change games at any given stage. And I know it's easier said than done. And me and Jess have done a lot of speaking about us in attack anyways, much less half chances. But I do always wonder about these half chances. And I have kind of been thinking, I know you can't score them all, but I have been thinking about them. Like, Kai could have bagged, Trossard could have done better against Brighton, Zubi and Rice against, obviously in the game against Chelsea. So it's a bit of a weird one. Jess, I think we've disrespected someone in the stream, We haven't spoken about Bukayo scoring 300 appearances, goal of the season contender. Yeah. We have to, we're rude, man. We're rude. What are you saying for Bukayo?
Listen, I think you make your own luck, and yes, the goal was fortuitous, but I've seen
I think he
many
meant
a
it.
player in this league be lauded for lots of goals that are like that, where they shoot and it deflects and it goes in, so it is what it is. I wish we took more risks like that. I wish we took more shots like that.
There's a
Um,
period we were kind of seeing that, but it's kind of gone.
yeah, with Saka, I think he's just kind of the best part of a group of attackers that just need to play their part. It's not that he was bad or anything like that. I don't think anybody outside of like really Jokeris really was like, ooh, maybe Trossard a little bit too. He was a little ranked too.
He was
But
shit. Gyökeres
yeah,
didn't bring nothing to the table. Kai was like admittedly one of the best attackers. Saka was okay, but it weren't amazing. Nelly,
yeah,
if I'm honest, Nelly was on with I didn't even remember Nelly was playing. I understand him starting because he didn't go
yeah.
backwards, but and to be
But
fair, Brighton's attackers were shit, man. Like
yeah,
not
they
Matoma, what's his
were.
face was the best one.
They were. It
They brought off the
basically
bench. Everyone
canceled
else was crap.
itself. Yeah, basically canceled itself out. I think Saka at his best this season has created quite a few chances that were not put away. And at his
Engineered on
worst,
goals as well.
is snatching at chances and not really scoring and finishing his dinner. It at this point, it just kind of is what it is. I would say that, part of the problem with the attack is that the first person that touches the ball when we're trying to release and go into the attacking in our attack mode is Jokeris. And I think as long as he's receiving the ball first, we're going to have less and less opportunities because he was just giving the ball away. Like he cannot be our outlet. So if we change
He
the
looks
outlet
spent as
to,
well, man. If I'm
yeah, if we
honest.
change,
No
yeah,
excuses, though, but yeah.
if we change that outlet to maybe Kai, maybe it'll be a little bit different. But Saka's doing what he can. And to be fair to him, he's basically carried us for a couple years. So, and has
Allow
had
him a bit.
fantastic season. So, fantastic seasons back to back to back. So, with the injuries that he suffered, I expected a dip. The dip is there. So I'm not going to pretend like I don't see it. I feel like there's a lot of Arsenal fans that are like, no, he's dipped. He's dipped, but he's
I'm
still
one of them.
playing his spot. He's still playing his role. He's going to score big goals for us this season still. So, I don't feel like I want to get on to Saka right now. There was a part in the season where I was like, you need to do more, but I've kind of come to the conclusion that if he could do more, he would.
Do you think he's lost his acceleration or lost a bit of it? Because that is something that's been floating around type of thing.
I do. But I think he kind of lost a little bit of his acceleration when he grew a little bit. I think he was faster a couple years ago, when he was younger and lighter. Now he's a little bit heavier because he's actually a grown man now. So, Saka, he tried to kick it around one of their players yesterday and tried to run. And I just
that was dead. I know what you're talking about. In the second half, that was dead.
I was like, shit. Like it is what it is.
10, man. Or put Kai in the 10 and let's just run that to the end of the season, man.
Yeah. So yeah, it's sometimes it's not because the players don't want to. I feel like sometimes it's they cannot. And
it's just not your
with
time.
our attack, it's not like they're being handed opportunities left and right either. It's not like our midfield is creating loads of chances and they're missing. It is what it is. Saka, he's our star boy, and this is what it is. I don't want to get.
I'm the worst person to ask about Bukayo because everything you said, I agree, but you can do no wrong in it. I'm with you to the end. It's Bukayo Saka. If life was fair, we'd all have a lot less. Granted, if like all the things we're saying and you said about Saka, if we was applying that to Noni, just to use him as an example, I'd have a very different opinion, but I'm human, innit? This is how it works. If Haaland misses a sitter, City fans are going to allow him a bit. If Marmoush misses a sitter, they might be onto you a little bit. Obviously, it's all kind of relative. I do think it's a weird one, though, in that even though Saka ain't been at the races this season, most of his big games, like Fulham away, he ain't got the GA. Sometimes, not that he has, he's got GA and he's kind of been dead. Like, I think you were good against Spurs. I think you weren't dead against Chelsea. You just pissed me off, if I'm completely honest. Like, I wouldn't say you was ducking the 50-50s, but you're losing the ball and kind of laughing. Yesterday, you was calm. You was probably the best of a bad bunch, but really and truly, there was nothing to scream about from our midfielders or attackers, as you said, on an individual basis. It's our fucking defenders. I want to get to this question as well, Jess.
Yeah.
Who is your player of the season? But before we get to that, who's your attacking player of the season so far? Like, if we had to just, because we're on the topic, like we just had to, what's that? Noni, Trossard, Saka, Nelly, etc., etc. Just Just the attackers. Like, who'd be the one for you?
Stark.
Darkness. Right.
Just Stark. Our best players in attack also are our defenders. So I guess you'd have to just give it to Saka because there's just I know that some people say Gyökeres, but I cannot.
That's harsh though, man.
I cannot. If you say Gyökeres has been your best attacker this season, my eyes do not deceive me.
The goals though, it ain't that striker job. With all the noise and the scrutiny and all of that.
If he plays against anybody over 17th spot, it says he doesn't even touch the ball. Like, I don't know. It's Saka. I'm going to give it to Saka, but it's just not a single one of you guys will be our player of the season. You guys will be.
No, we all know. Like, there's more chance of Raya than you, man. Not to boy Raya. I'm not boying.
Yeah,
Mbappe's got more of a chance.
Own goal.
Yeah. Own goal's been mad, and you know what? Him and Saka have a great relationship. We've been getting on to Arteta about relationship.
Set piece, or own goal. One of those two.
You know what? Fair play. You know what? If I had to. It's a weird one because I don't quite think Gyökeres, but you did have your little turn to the end of the season and whatnot. Well, the turn of the year, turn of 2025, beginning of 2026. So I do want to say this might shock people. Genuinely might shock people. Trossard or Martinelli. And that just tells you the state we're in. Just because the only thing I've been shocked by in attack this season has been when Trossard had this little purple patch. Obviously, he's kind of falling off now. When he kind of had that. And Martinelli, relative to that little squad rotation, super sub thing he's got going, especially in Europe, I'd say them. If you put a gun to my head, I'm going to go Trossard. Now, we saying for player in general, like...
Oh, Declan Rice.
Gabriel Magalhaes.
Definitely. I think only Gabriel. I think Gabriel is starting to come back into it now because of his last 2 games. But before that... He was Ricky, and then it was more Rice. It'll go to either one of them, I feel. And if we do anything special, it'll be because both of them were doing their thing. But, I think Rice has done a lot of heavy lifting. And Gabriel has scored quite a few goals and been good for us in the final third. So it'll go to either one of them. But I think Gabriel's last 2 games have this is the thing about form and like players making mistakes is Gabriel was kind of shaky, for a couple of weeks there. But he didn't let it define his season. And now he's had a couple really good performances. And when I say really good, I mean outstanding performances back to back. So it could be either one of them. But I feel like if we do win something, it'll be because they did what they do so well.
It'll be because of the effing defenders and Raya, really. And obviously, Rice as well. Like that kind of, I don't know, that first phase of the pitch. I know Rice plays as an 8, but it'd be because of them, man, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. But listen, like, I wouldn't care who it went to because I just want us to win. I really don't care. I think Declan has been better across the season and had less maybe fluctuations, but Gabriel has had really pivotal moments for us in the final third that have meant something. So yeah, either one. I guess I would ask you about Saliba because, it's constantly like Arsenal fans, I feel like, are always putting Gabriel and Saliba against each other. And I don't really understand why.
He's another one that you could dash into it, to be fair.
Yeah, but Saliba, I think, has had an underrated season. Really, I think he has. I think he had a tough last season where Gabriel really stood tall last season. Saliba had a little bit of a down season, but I think Saliba also is having a quietly good season. But I'm trying to I want to understand why he's not in those conversations as much as Gabriel. Is it just because he doesn't score as many goals? Is it just that? Is it that?
I just think you know what? I just don't think the highlights catch Saliba, Like, it sounds dumb, but obviously he's a passion merchant. We're used to him. I just think he's so gracious and just calm at his job. No one really asks his question because it's weird you said that, because when you just said that, I even thought, obviously, like, I'm sure there was a period where I was even making videos and putting it in the caption, like, he's been the one, he's in a real good moment. I ain't got Jess, that's a fucking good question.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe just not that he's
I
quiet
think
because
Saliba's
he just
having a
does his job
really, really
gracefully,
good
innit?
season. I do. I think, yes, he's had his injuries, but I think Saliba's had a really, really good season. But yeah, I think Gabriel also Saliba kind of suffers from the, you don't see the things because Gabriel, not in a negative way, but he causes commotion and attention. So you see these big slide tackles, you see these big moments, you see him in his teeth all the time. Saliba's a little bit more of like the quieter one. So yeah.
Little brother.
Yeah. So, but I do think Saliba is having a very, 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 very good season. Just wanted that to be said.
Somebody asked yes as well. Do you guys think this is Saliba's best season? Because I would rate Gabriel higher. He's done well when he's even been stop. I don't know.
One of his
Saliba's best year.
It's one of his best seasons.
Well, last season wasn't. Season before that, his date. Do you know what it is with him? Yeah, his date. Maybe I'm a nostalgia merchant, but I think I'll always like, even if he kept 100 clean sheets, I think I'll always rate his. I don't want to say debut season because it's not, but like his debut season in that. Okay, you're here now, 2022, 23. You're kind of here now to be part of this. I just think I don't think you'll do better than that. It definitely wasn't last season. You fucked up at the Bernabeu. I always believed in Kivio, as you guys know, man. Side note, big up Kivio. We saw him.
Saliba was probably more of a standout in 22-23 and 23-24. And then in 23 or 24-25 and 25-26, Gabriel I think came more into his own.
What was Saliba? Oh no. 23-24. Whatever season we scored a late minute winner against Luton and we had that high vis kit, I'd give that one to Saliba, because
I did. No, 22-23 and 23-24.
Oh yeah, fair. No, yeah, that one because he was picking up man of the match in bare different games. I'm sure Gabriel as well.
Yeah, but Gabriel, I think also with Saliba already has the stamp of approval from world football. I think everybody rates him, thinks he's great, thinks he should be playing at Real Madrid, whatever. But Gabriel, because of the way he started out and the fact that for some reason people couldn't
never win some man over, man.
Yeah, you're 22, you're going to make mistakes. And he actually did not get to come into a team that had him in it. He had to come in.
Pablo Marie was better than him.
Yeah, with the bad defenders. So Gabriel just started off slower. Yeah, I love Gabriel and Saliba, and I don't want to say that we're lucky to have them because it's not like we didn't buy them and pay them. But yeah, they're special. They're great.
I love them both. Let me ask you this, because it's too easy, isn't it? Because of how I think because of how I think you view the game, I have to add a caveat because I think it's too easy, isn't it? Let's assume, for argument's sake, and just humor me, Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes are same age. They're the same age. There's X amount of an offer that comes in. You have to sell one. Who are you going, Saliba or Gabriel? And which one do you think, not better, which one are you going with? And which one do you think will miss the most? Again, they're same, for argument's sake, they're same age. Let's just say, fuck it, they're both 25.
That's just too hard to.
That's why I got to ask the difficult questions.
I can't imagine. But
I'll sell Saliba.
I think
because I'm mentally accepted you're gonna go Real Madrid one day, anyways.
Well, probably. I think we will.
I think you deserve it.
We would miss Saliba more. But I still would sell Saliba.
I think we might even miss Gabby more. Slightly. Big bro.
Well, Gabriel
there's no rights
has intangibles that are just irreplaceable to me.
Like when Saliba makes mistakes, nobody speaks about it.
Yeah, but Gabriel's intangibles are just, I can't imagine this team without Gabriel retiring here. But like you said, I already kind of imagined Saliba somewhere else.
He's getting that Saudi money soon, man.
So for me, it's a really hard question, but Gabriel's intangibles are something that I feel like this team absolutely needs. If you have two Gabriels next to each other and you have two Salibas, I think you're better off with two Gabriels. That's all I'm going to say, because he has the leadership and this team cannot afford to lose a leader. Saliba, what you'll miss is his gracefulness, his calmness, what he does on the ball. you're
It's
gonna miss
footballing
that.
IQ, everything. Like,
Yeah, you're gonna
you
miss
got two
that.
nasty centre halves, man.
Yeah, but I think I also am more probably the type of defenders that I kind of love are and like I love the passion merchants. I can't lie. Like that
You're not
that
alone.
gets the people going, you know. So I kind of love the passion merchants, even though of course I rate Saliba, but I just think he'll go on to play for Real Madrid and will be fantastic, and it is what it is. But I expect Gabriel Magalhaes to retire here.
You
I
reckon?
do.
I
Before
think
he
he's going
goes
to get
back.
that Saudi money soon, man. He deserves it, bro. I know what you're saying because he's a passion merchant. His girl's a passion merchant. His kid is so cute. What do we
I
do
just
to
expect
strike
him to
gold?
stay here for
Berta
now.
and Arteta, man, for the new deals and bringing them.
Yeah,
Ridiculous.
but at the same time, it's just not. It's not. I don't want us to have these conversations. So let's just, you know, I like that both of them have been vocal about wanting to stay here because they want to win things for Arsenal. Like we've never had players like that before. They've all jumped ship before we could get there. So.
All right, another question then. Forget the same age thing, yeah. Because Neil is saying Madrid gonna bang on the door for Gabriel right now. I'm telling you now. For me, I more believe Saliba. He's younger. They're on him anyways. I
More of
think
a
that
Galactico type signing anyway.
exactly. But you look at Real Madrid in the present day, in terms of prime and what you could do right now and the immediate impact. And to be fair, Gabriel is like a bit older than Saliba, but then you got Alaba that's gonna move. You got Rudiger that's got to move. Like, I don't know what you would say for a fee, yeah, but like you could get, let's just say
But see, this is the issue. This is what I'm telling you. Like, and for people in the comments, like Gabriel's intangibles are something that we cannot afford to lose because you can find good center backs, but you can't find good center backs that are also great leaders, that also score goals. Like, that's what Real Madrid need more than anything, but they'll go for Saliba because he's the fun signing. Like, he's the Galactico, he's the one with the more cachet. You know, they need leadership in that squad bad.
So what?
Like
70 million for
they
Gabriel
need it.
Magalhaes or 100 million for Saliba. Real Madrid have dropped that on your head top right now.
I can't afford to let Gabriel leave. I can't afford it. I can't.
Berta and the Cronkies are saying, you're the manager, Jess. We need to sell one. We need a decision right now. 70 million for Magalhaes, 100 for Saliba.
Yeah, but I've already accepted that Saliba will go, so I think I'm okay with Saliba going. But I feel like they would be closer to where they want to be if they had a center back pairing of Huijsen and Gabriel. A center back pairing of Huijsen and Saliba.
You're mimicking what we got already.
Like, so yeah, Gabriel, can't let him go. The intangibles are important. We've had really good players in the past, but because we didn't have those intangibles, we weren't able to get to where we want to be. I feel like that needs to be said, so I couldn't give Gabriel away. I just couldn't, not even for
see why we gotta fucking win something, man. Like, look what we're talking like, and that's the thing for me. Like, I think many football fans, if they put their banter aside and all that nonsense aside, yeah, you look at this team and you isolate the defense. Yeah, Raya is cold. I don't think he's the best goalkeeper in the world or the Premier League.
Raya is killing me.
Pardon me?
Raya is killing me.
Yeah, no, but like,
sent me to an early grave yesterday.
It's
but
calm,
he's
man.
that
It
guy.
happens. But that's what I mean. When Saliba does them things, no one speaks about it. But like, you've got Raya isolated, one of the best in his position. Timber, one of the best in his positions. As we both said, and you'd have to be stupid to disagree. Saliba, Gabriel, you bring in Rice. They're the ones that Saka as well. They're the ones that are above everyone. And then you sprinkle in people a level below. But we can't not win something. If I genuinely believe you lot are this, and I believe the gaffer, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Like, I don't know, man. Looking at this roster, so many players easy to love. Again, we need to win because at some point you're gonna have to flush these players out and move people on. Jess, I got some things I want to run with you before I let you get out of here. Yeah, I need to find it. Tab police, you're on me, but there's a method to the madness, man. We've covered actually all of this. I saw this. I don't know if it's credible. I don't know about any of that. Yeah, but do you think if Mikel Arteta either won the Premier League or the Champions League, if not both this year, would he step down? Especially if Real Madrid or these ones are coming for you.
I don't think so.
Would you leave if it was him?